Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in. Check out your boy, B Farm, thinking right out here in my lab. And I'm in the book, and we're in the book of wisdom. And I've been going through it. We get to the end of the page, and look what I stumbled up on. We're going to talk about Freemasonry. So they say, well, what you know about Freemasonry? I got a standard monitor. I got the evolution, the history of Freemasonry. And this is what we call the Holy Bible of Freemasonry. Morals and Dogma by Albert Pike. And anybody know Masonry, you know about that. So, do I know Masonry? Let's talk about it. Radism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's always a message in my stories for life. I give you life lessons. You tune in and receive them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right thinking mission is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking way of life through mental and spiritual discipline. Practice daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. See where we're going with this? Let's get there together. So I asked the question, do you know you? You will when I get through. Pay attention. I got you. It's rhetorical, but if you don't have an answer for yourself, tune in. I got you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do. For you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm your spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself and to my yacht be true. Right thinkers, P-Funk philosophy is going to introduce you into Freemasonry. I've spent years, a lot of time, and this is called a standard monitor, Freemasonry. This is the rules this is my little Bible. Every Mason need one of these. Not that they read it, but at least if you have it, the information is here. It don't need you being ignorant, okay? And I had the most astute lodge in the building at the time. I did my homework, okay? I did my homework first, okay? These are all the books. Yeah, it's a big book, okay? I got a lot of books. I just opened my little library. I got a little Masonic section. I just snatched these all out just to show you. For this lesson, I got plenty of information, but I don't need none of that. I don't need those stinking books. All right, let's talk about this. Let me see how they present it. And they present a good case. 10 years ago, I'd have been probably all in, and I'd have been now I'm like, I don't have the reverence that I had for you guys. I learned a few things about y'all that's not too pleasant to me for me, so I had to digress. But let's talk about it. I still love the order. I'm one. I'm never gonna give up my oath. Freemasonry is a centuries old fraternity, right there. A fraternity. What's that? That intertwined elements of esoteric wisdom, which is fine. I learned from them a lot of stuff that I wouldn't be able to get nowhere else. So it started me on my road. Matter of fact, I went up from Mason, I went to Egypt, okay, because the stuff that I was getting from them, I was, this didn't seem well. So yeah, I went on a venture. That's what I from Masonic concept. I took my show on to Egypt, and I've been there ever since. But let's go. This is old. To me, this is old stuff. All right, but here we go. They represent themselves. They say good stuff. Yeah, they got a good forefront. But behind the scenes, I was very disappointed. Let's go. And y'all got to hear talking about morals and ethics. Stop. Morals and integrity. That pissed me off. Excuse me. Get back to the lesson. I got a personal thing, so let me get out of there. All right, let's do the lesson. But they entwine these esoteric wisdom, but it includes the Gnostics, the Hermetic principles out of Egypt, and the Kabbalah system teaching. That's the Jews. Masons, y'all Jews. Why? Y'all moon worshippers. You didn't know that? Moving on. So again, I know more about this order now than I ever knew when I was part of it. So let's go. Again, when you part of something, you don't see none of the warts. You don't see none of that. But when you step back, look, whoa, whoa. So that's me. Warring at Masonic brothers and sisters. Let's go. But it is structured perfect around symbolic rituals. Again, I understand the importance of rituals. That's why some I don't partake in. If your ritual question my moral code, I'm not doing it. Simple as that. Okay, understand that. So I have a limit. And what's this? They practice rituals, sacred geometry. That's all about the numbers. We got that too. 357. Okay, and more importantly, philosophical, allegorical stories designed to elevate your spiritual understanding and your moral refinement. That's what it did for me when I was a young man. It gave me structure, gave me understanding, and I used those tools that they give us, the working tools as a Mason, the way they're supposed to, and you will be just what they say you are, a master of yourself. That ain't about, but that ain't enough. That's just a little snippet, but it'll get you past the regular people, and they thought they were somebody because they knew a little something, and that arrogance turns me off. Okay, because you think you better, and I get the concept of using our tools. Operative Mason used the trowel, the compass and the square level, all that. But we use it, but it came for a more noble and glorious use for yourself, to build yourself. It makes sense. That's esoteric teaching. That's why I learned it. And once I understood it, I was off to the races. Okay? I know masonry. Let's go. I know how to use the tools. That's mastery right there. I'm big on mastery of oneself. You should know you. And by the way, it's Master P Funk from now on, for those who don't know. If you don't know, I'll correct you, like my man do. You call him so-and-so, it's Dr. So-and-so. All right, Doc, that's for you. So yeah, but I ain't big on that, but yeah, I've earned the title of Master. That's what I'm saying. All right, but that is teaching you how to be your best self, and that's the intent, and I ain't got no problem with that at all. When I seen guys with Masonic knowledge, smart, sharp as attack, and Masonic. But outside there, they are pieces of crap. So again, I know people with intellect, knowledge and everything. As a person, they suck. So it ain't no difference in Masonic order. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I had to come to understand that about religious people. It's all the same. People are going to do what they're going to do. All right, let's get back to this. I'm sorry. The true origin of Freemasonry, I know now, but back then, remains a subject of what? Debate. No, it don't. No, it ain't. What are these things made of? Masonry, brick, mortar, compass and square. It didn't start in 1717. I knew that when I heard that. That didn't set well with me. Okay, but that's what, as a matter of fact, that's what sent me to Egypt. All right, but some historians, they trace its lineage to what? The ancient Hermetic traditions. That's Egypt. I just told you that. Yeah. Don't tell me it started in a tavern in Massachusetts in 1717. A bunch of white guys sitting around getting drunk, so they're going to start an all Masonic order. Intellect, knowledge, and esoteric wisdom is the foundation in what Masonic order stands on. I know that because I'm a student of the craft. And the best advice I've ever gotten from a Masonic brother was when I became worship master of my lodge. I just got voted in unanimously to be the worship master of my lodge, and we had our first parade. I'm marching the parade. I'm carrying a banner with a 94-year-old gentleman. I'm like 25, 30 years old, somewhere in that area. So I'm a pup to them. Yeah, but I'm the hot shot new guy, the smart guy. He got a lot. He's teaching brother masonry. He's living, okay, doing all that good stuff. But in the interim of talking to the old head, he seen my enthusiasm, my excitement. He said, "Let me tell you something, young man." He said, "Don't let what you see in Masonic order deter your love for the craft." I had no idea what the hell he was saying. But being young and, okay, okay. But when I start going through the years, I got 10 years in. I'm moving and grooving. I'm growing. I'm all in. I'm all in. I'm all in. Okay. 32nd degree, councils, all that. I'm all in. Lights all across my car, you know the rule. So after about 14, 15 years, I started seeing some of the chinks in my house. I started seeing the hypocrisy and the nonsense. All of a sudden, everything I've been doing for the last 5 years ain't good enough. Somebody can do it better. We brought a new guy in. You know how that go. Okay. Need I say more? That was the end of that. Okay. Again, good leadership, you grow. Bad leadership, you will not. Simple as that. The whole building is pretty much destitute at this point. But again, it's all about the leadership. So let me get back to this. I keep taking the stories. See, I'm in my element now, so I can pretty much move and groove, and that's what I'll be doing. Excuse me 1 second. Excuse me. All right, let me get back to the lesson. But the whole point is, while they finally trace it back to Egypt, while others suggest that its roots stem from the medieval stonemason guilds of Europe. Okay. Another widely accepted theory, not the truth, not the fact, but connected Freemasons to the Knights Templars, the medieval Christian military order that allegedly became Freemasons. I'm a Knights Templar. I'm Sir Wright. Got that degree also. Okay? This is the Elijah perfection. I forgot, my brother told me. Yeah, I remember. We went to so many houses that somebody, man, I got this guy that got to be annoying. But it was fun because I was learning. My thing was, I'm getting the information. I'm studying. I'm learning. I don't have time for running around telling I'm this, I'm that. Man, I was in my book. So I was a studious type of dude. Always have been. Even back to that, that's why I was the dean of instruction. I ran the house. Okay. But to become a Mason, membership in the Freemasonry order is to be invited. You have to know one to become one. You ask one, and here, vouch for you, have an investigation, do paperwork. I wanted to be one because of what I saw one of my brothers do. I was impressed with that. It taught me how to be an upright dude, a fair, straight dude. Take yours like a man. Okay, so yeah, I learned the old-fashioned way, and I became and he was the worship master. He's the past master, but every week he was hustling fish sandwiches. He was doing his thing. Work at UPS. He had a good constant thing. So I became one. But in order to become a candidate, you must be introduced. And he the one that brought me in. All right? And he told me, embarrassed me. And he was about to retire. I never forget. He had the big Cadillac, all the light across the back. Everybody he was the man. So when he brought me in, I was the last student he brought in. When he came back, I was worship master. He said, "Oh, you doing me proud." So I felt good about that. Yeah, I did him proud. But in the current, the order to be one, you got to be introduced by a current Mason, and you must profess a belief in supreme being. They ask you, do you believe in God? It can be Allah, it can be Ishka, don't make a difference, but a supreme being. So they're giving you clarity. It's not saying you got to believe in our God. No, a supreme being. Now, through Masonry, though Masonry does not prescribe a specific religion. I respected that, so I didn't get caught up in that. But they pretty much Christian. We had a Muslim or two, and brothers who had the religious concept. I didn't didn't make a difference to me. I had white guys, I had all kinds of, man, it didn't make a difference to me. I'm teaching Masonry. I ain't got time for the other stuff. But what I did find out in Masonry, there's still racism, there's still prejudice, it's just in the order. Y'all talk that good talk, but y'all don't live it. Moving on. That's my issue with them too also. And allowing members of different faiths to participate in candidates will undergo what we call initiation ceremonies, during which they will swear an oath of secrecy and a commitment to the principles of the craft of Freemasonry. You take your oath. You do all that, yeah. That's all for your personal standard. And the penalty is all symbolical. But then again, now, Jack the Ripper, they claim was the Mason. Why? Because the way he was killing his people was the degrees in Masonry that only those who was in the order would know that. To having your throat cut from ear to ear, tongue torn out, and all that, that's a Masonic ritual. And people's actually doing that. Again, these things are serious. All right, let me get back to the lesson. I got stories like the wise do about this nonsense. So let me get back to the lesson. Sorry. But the Masonic oath is a solemn vow taken during the initiation into the Masonic Lodge, the craft, and each progression through the degrees, which is 3 for Freemasonry, the wording of the oath varies, and depending on the jurisdiction of the specific Masonic traditions being followed. However, it generally emphasizes principles such as the brotherhood, a commitment to the fraternity and the follow Masons. Secrecy, a vow to protect the teachings and the rituals of the order. When you ask a Mason, what y'all do with the ritual? They kill me. You want to die? And when you hear that, I ain't trying to die. It's all symbolical. They don't tell you that. Riding the goat. Well, what's that? Symbolical. An ass whooping. Symbolical. No, all physical. That's real. Certain parts, they take a little bit of truth and you disguise it with a bunch of bull stuff. You feel me? So there's some truth in there, but everything else is just fanfare, bull stuff. Okay? And this is the one I had an issue with. This is what I got from Masonry. Moral integrity. And that's what drew me to the craft. Upholding virtues such as honesty, charity, and wisdom, loyalty, dedication to the Masonic ideals and its higher purpose, the craft. I love those. That's what made me a Mason right there. All the other stuff I didn't give two craps about. But those qualities right there, I incorporated them. And I used them. That's why I feel out of grace with a lot of what? Yeah. So yeah. Again, difference in opinion. You got Scottish right, you got York right. One says you can get all degrees, you got 3 letters, you got 4 letters. You got the black, you got the white. It's all different orders, even in the order, even in the craft. You got all those things going on, separation. I went to Fredericksburg, Virginia. I think I'm all hot, I'm a Mason, I'm all proud. Got my little guy. White guy snubbed the hell out of me. It's still racism, even in the craft. That's my point, okay? From my experience, I experienced it. I thought it was cool. Okay, not even in the craft. See what I'm saying? So it stems deep. That's my point with that. And even Masonic don't change that. When Prince Hall, when he was in the service, he became a Master Mason. When he came home, I was all white guy, only black guy. Okay, I have a problem with that. He come home, he started his order. Now it's nigger masonry. But they took him to the highest court, okay, and they found out, they voted the same 3 degrees, knowledge that you have, he had. What's the difference? So it's called, they had a charter. Using the charter, the big book, charter book of Masons, yeah. But Prince Hall, they kicked him out, took his charter, so he was clandestine, meaning he ain't legit. If the information that you're given, learning, and teaching, you're living by. Again, like I said, if what I'm teaching and living by is working, what's the damn problem? Black Masons, white Masons. What makes y'all any better? Again, racism in the craft. That's what I'm going to try to tell you. Get it in right quick. All right, let me get a couple more things. I'm going to shut it down. I got more information. We got a whole bunch of stuff here. And they got the book, the Duncan, okay, the first book, the teaching, Masonic Order. Now, these are little inskirts from the oath. I'm going to read out to you. They got all this stuff down. And they say, again, I took my Masonic oath. I would never divulge my Masonic secrets. But that doesn't mean I can't tell you what we represent, what we do. I ain't a damn secret. I ain't giving them a password. Boaz, John Kane. Those are all passwords. What good they going to do you? I tell people, if you obtain Masonic knowledge, it's only good in Masonic environment. It don't mean nothing out here in the free world. It don't mean jack, okay? You see one, you gratiate each other, yeah. But y'all got secrets that y'all share. Probably don't know nothing about that. But it's still, like I said, even in that brotherhood, the brethren, okay, with the E, they still have racism. So it don't change how somebody really feel. Okay, don't get it twisted. And beyond, again, now Freemasonry is divided into 3 degrees. Okay, typically beginning with what they call into the apprentice. We don't have apprenticeship no more. That means you're going to learn from the master. You're coming to sit at the feet of the master, learn a skill of the craft, and then you'll be better by and learn it as you go. No more of that. Into apprentice, come in, you learn. In the craft, that's the first degree, and it symbolizes the beginning of your Masonic journey. You're about to take a journey, okay? Depending on how far you want to go, it's up to you. The journey is what? 33 spinal columns at the backbone, and it gets what? To the brain right here, and that opens up. They taught that from that philosophy. I know that now. I didn't know that back then. I didn't have a clue about none of that stuff. We see in degrees. We ain't seeing the body. We don't see nothing like that, but I see it now in a whole different way. Again, second degree, after you become an apprentice, you become a fellow craft. That means a brother of the craft. That means the second degree representing you have gotten some intellectual and some spiritual knowledge that you're going to try to develop to become what? The master of oneself, using these working tools that we're going to present to you from the first to second and third degree. After the third degree, when you get your little funky trial to spread the love of Masonic order all over the world, you stop studying. They put the book down and just start wilding. Okay, no further studying. But you got a little house called the Red House. Okay, but that's the next level up. But the third degree, Master Mason, that's the third degree. That's marking should be your full membership and have a deeper understanding of the intellectual and spiritual development that you learned as a fellow craft. You work on that so become a master of your craft, a master of oneself. I teach that in life, same philosophy. Okay, that's what I know. Well, I got that knowledge. I can tell you, I got all the Masonic stuff, but I don't teach Masonry. Why? Ain't my thing. In closing, hold on. In closing, right there, just let me wrap it up. I got to go. May you all live to be 100. Me, 100 miles a day. So I never know that my right thinkers who now start to have a better understanding of Freemasonry and passed away. I'll be right back with some more. I'm not done yet.